Good morning. Good morning and welcome to Peny Radio. Wherever you're doing the listening, we welcome you in a very special way. Today is a Monday, the 20th day of July. And gradually, July is also slipping by. I don't know your plans for... I don't know your plans for the month. If your plans for the month are not being met, beloved, July is slipping by. Are you? So you're welcome to Peny Radio. This is Random Thought with Maxine. We want to inform you that we are live on Peny Radio and also on YouTube at Peny GH. So wherever you're doing the listening, you're welcome. Maxine is here. She's ready. And I'm also ready. No, I don't want to speak for her. Maxine is here. Is she ready?
I am ready.
All right. So you heard it for yourself. She is ready.
Yeah.
All right. So I can confidently say that she is ready. So it's Random Thought with Maxine. Today we're going to do a lot of talking. Because I don't know. I woke up this morning and when I was doing devotion, the internet decided to go off, and I was talking full of energy, and then I saw that cannot hear myself from the phone.
You had to check.
I checked and there was no internet, and I said, so I've spoken for about a minute with this energy.
Sorry.
So I'm bringing that pause here. So today, get ready.
Transfer of energy from morning devotion to Random Thoughts with Maxine.
Sure. Yeah. So, Maxine, how are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm great. It's a Monday. You know how we do it. Welcome back after the weekend. It's always nice connecting with you. And let's just do this.
Sure. Let's do this. So, whenever she says, let's do this, you know what she means. Yeah. Not just us here, you know. It means you are part.
Yeah.
So wherever you are, if some people are observers, they just observe us. Some people just watch us. Some people just listen to us. We never get the chance to hear from them. Please, today said let's do this
together.
Let's do this together. You know. All right. So Maxine, today is a Monday. You know, Mondays are. It means that a new week has begun. Do you have any expectation for the week?
For me, I'm all geared up for a new working week. The energy is on. I mean, that's what you need to start a week. You need the right energy. You need the right vibe. Sometimes things might not go the way you planned. Probably the weekend did not go too well. Family issues here and there. But at the end of the day, I say this. You have life, and it is a new way of you saying that there are better things ahead. So let's just stay positive, okay? And forget about what happened yesterday night, the stress, the work related problems, the family issues, and let's just know that it's a new day, and blessings and his faithfulness will forever be our portion.
Amen. So stay positive.
Yeah, let's stay positive.
Stay positive. It means that staying positive also means that bringing your comment. You know that.
That's it.
All right. So stay positive this week. So it's Random Thought with Maxine. If you give me the chance, I'll talk to. So I'll just. Maxine, what do you have for us this?
Okay, so this morning I just want us to have a conversation around some issues like that. You know how we do it on the show. We always talk, we always have conversations around things that resonate with us as human beings. We try to look at the loopholes, how to make our life better, and keeping on. That's the whole idea. So this morning I was just thinking to myself that undoubtedly, here goes. Undoubtedly, I think my mother is the best cook. I don't even think she is. Somebody will say, hey, you are here hyping your mother. Do you know of somebody else's mom? But for the past 3 decades and some years that I have lived with her, whatever it is, my mother brings good things to the table. Her meals are always nice, sumptuous, whatever it is that you would want to describe my mom's meal with. Her jollof is something else. And just like the advert to say more jollof. As for my mother, it's not only jollof, banku, fufu, whatever soup in Kwan. I mean, she is on top of her game. But I get a bit worried when she finished cooking and she's like, But I'm like, everybody knows that you cook very well. And I know that her cooking skills is a gift from God. She's not a caterer, but she loves to cook. And over the period, she had just mastered the art of preparing good and sumptuous dishes. Why do I say this? There are friends who had visited in the past, and they eat her food and like, oh, your mom cooks very well. So I have like 3 of my classmates in secondary school who actually came to my mom and said, we are getting married. Would you mind cooking for us? And she's more than happy to say, okay, I'll do this. And we trust her cooking to the extent that we think when it comes to her cooking, dear, no two ways, she's always on point. But why is it that she would finish cooking and she's like, a day? And we know that there is no way her cooking will not call ye, they be a call ye. And she's extremely satisfied when it comes from outsiders too. So there are times we have helped her cook and we go out to serve, especially if it's for weddings. And the comment that comes with this, oh, who cooked the food? I mean, she's good and all that. Then she's like, oh, be a comfort mediani. And that's how much she is enthused and she is over the top or on the moon when people validate her cooking, even when she knows that she's good at what she does. Secondly, for all those who know me, I am a conservative when it comes to hairstyles. So it's either I am keeping to my short hair. People will say that I am brinya. So I have really hidden under this guise of short hair, and I am saying, no, me, I would prefer short hair to growing my hair. If it comes to braids, it's 2 things. It's either I'll do the tiny ones, the micro ones, which you call gari, or I'll do the box. Now, the lady who braids for me kind of like talked me into doing something else, and I think I like it, so now I have stuck to that one too. And I would only do a weave when I've exhausted all my options. And this is me for the past years that I have grown my hair. But over the weekend, I just took on my braids and I realized that there was new growth. And I was just asking my little sister, should I grow my hair? Or when I get to the salon, should they cut it again? And she's like, you know what fits you. So why are you asking me whether you should grow your hair? And that is another point. There are things that we even know about ourselves, but we still need that someone to say, okay, I think you should do this. And at every point, we need somebody to validate our actions. We need somebody to compliment us. We need somebody to cheer us on. I don't know who is your cheerleader. I don't know who is the person that says, okay, I think this is a nice dress, you should wear that one. I don't know who it is in your life, but most of us grew up having our parents validate the things we do. And so for us, we are already grounded. But unfortunately, on the other side, there are people too who unfortunately did not get people who complimented them, who validated them. And so they are kind of like in between. And there is a third group of people who cannot be bothered. Whether or not you give them a compliment, whether or not you validate the things that they want to do, they are good to go. But my question this morning is, why does it even matter? And why must it matter what people say to us when we know that some decisions and some things are okay? I mean, must we need somebody to say, oh, I think between this blue shirt and this pink shirt, just wear the blue one? I will say this, I am extremely confident about my choice of clothes. When I get to a shop, I don't even need an assistant. But there are times I am torn between wearing one dress and the other. And guess what? It's either my mother or my sisters. I'm like, Minshewi Anama Minshewi. And this is me who is absolutely conscious of what I like. And I cannot be bothered whether you think it's nice or not. But there are times, and my mother has always been my number one fan when it comes to my outfit. So I'll run it by her. Do I wear the brown dress or do I wear the black skirt? And this is then say, oh, she will. And for me, once she settles on an option for me, I'm good to go. As human beings, I think there is an inherent need in us to find people to tell us that this is the way to go. This is how it should be done. And we are always constantly asking for people's opinion on some decisions that we would have to take. I had a friend who was getting married some years back. And she's like, Maxine, you helped me choose a gown for my wedding. And I was more than glad to assist. I don't know what happened. I think we had scheduled a meeting for a Saturday. Something came up. And unfortunately, I didn't call her to let her know that something came up. Bad on my part. So she went ahead, because you know how it is like when people are getting married. They think they have limited time. They are supposed to work within a specific time frame and all that. So she's like, if you're unable to go to that bridal shop and get that gown, I am per my timetable. I am far behind time. So she went on her own and got her gown without my assistance. Then she came back and called to say she found herself a gown. I'm like, super. Then the next morning she called to say that she actually fitted the gown on, and her daddy said that the gown looked like somebody who had just given birth, like a maternity gown. So there was no way she should wear that gown for her wedding. To cut a long story short, you know what happened? She actually bought another gown. So in effect, she had two gowns. I'm like, so what happens to the first one? She said, it's your fault. You should have just followed me to that bridal shop. Since you didn't see, I made a wrong choice. I'm like, whatever it is, you should know what fits you. You should know what wants. My taking you to the shop is just to say that, okay, A and B. And that's all she needed. For her to ascertain the need to accept the fact that this decision is the best one. And unfortunately, I couldn't be of help. So she's like, I'll find a way of selling that other gown. Why am I giving you all these examples? You are listening to me right now, and you know how difficult it is even to arrive at a decision. There are times you know you're in a relationship that is not going well. You are in an abusive relationship. You are in a relationship that you find the person not being too proactive. And you will just run the details by your friends, and at the end of the day, you go like, Minjana, Nana, Minjano. Should I leave? Should I stay in that marriage and all that? But the question is, the decision lies solely with you. So why do you need somebody? But that is what makes us human beings. The need for people to accept us. The need for people to acknowledge the things we are doing. The need for us to feel good. And it does feel good. Somebody will say, me, I'm not here to collect funds or to collect approval from anybody. Granted. But to be very honest, that talk is cheap. There are times that you need somebody's validation. You need somebody's compliment. You need somebody to cheer you on. You need somebody to say, that is the way to go. We work with Peny Radio. We are excited when we see your comments. I am listening. Great work. Nice content. It is not like we don't know what we are doing. We know. But it kind of like puts a certain spring in our feet when we are talking, because we are confident that apart from we doing an extra work to get you good stuff, there are people who also appreciate what we are doing. This morning, I don't know how far you have traveled with this whole need to be approved, to be validated, to be complimented. There are people who are stingy with compliments. No two ways about that. And you don't entirely blame them, because they didn't grow up getting compliments. So they don't even see the need why they should even give one. Understood. There are people too who will say that, what if the one who is your biggest cheerleader is no longer there? People have said, my husband is my biggest fan. What if at a point you get divorced? What if you say, my dad is my biggest cheerleader? What if someday he dies and he's not around? So the need to be validated, to be accepted, to be approved, to be complimented is good. Don't get me wrong. It is good. But should you lose all those people who are in that circle who kind of like cheer you on? Would you still move on in this life knowing that I can do this? Would you still move on with that confidence? It is time to look at your life and see whether you have even placed premium on your self-worth. Because once you know your worth, it kind of like translates in your confidence, and then you are sure about it. Let me tell you that there are people who do not mind what advice you give. I'll get it done. If it works, fine. If I don't get the results that I probably was anticipating, so be it. And they have lived their life like that. There are people too that you would give them all the advice there is and cheer them on, compliment, approve, tell them, Charlie, you are doing well, you are on the right track, and they will not find it satisfying, if there's a word like that. Yeah, there is. The question is your whole life wired around the approvals, the compliments, the yes, the biggest cheerleaders and all that? Let me say this, even Facebook gives us the option that says that somebody can approve of your picture, and so we can do the likes. And that was what it was over the period. Till now, they introduced new ones. You can laugh, you can say it's awesome and all that. And for all you know, they just thought about the need of people wanting to be approved. I mean, you look at people's pictures and you see the lie. See, I won't sit here and lie. We've all uploaded pictures at a point and like, hey, they not like scroll. I don't want party nana. And there are times we have seriously monitored our likes, and we are thinking, hey, all this effort I put in, 25 likes per. See, even I am here with Dominic and all that. There are times we go on YouTube, Dominic, I'm telling you today, I'm confessing. I keep tracking like, please, when will there be more likes? When will there be more viewership? And it kind of like is the fuel that keeps you going. I don't know if Dominic does that, but for me, constantly, all the videos that we have uploaded, I say, hey, Radu, my bimbe come home, and because a way of making us, it's the fuel that drives us. If it drives us. And that is it. People are happy when somebody says, oh, that is immaturity at this point. Why are you craving for licenses? Hey, it is the light that fuels and people's life. Oh. And that is the way that they live. I posted a picture on feed, like Facebook feed yesterday, and people took their time. You know how it is, like those ones that looks like the WhatsApp updates. So people will love it, and you see it in your inbox, like Messenger. And I took time yesterday and I said thank you to all those who did that. It is not like I'm not aware that the picture is nice, but I like the fact that people even go an extra mile to comment and say glamorous, gorgeous, you look stunning. It has a way of, you are aware, but it puts you on another awareness level, in a different pedestal altogether. And that is it. But the question is, when your biggest fan is no more, when people stop liking your pictures, when you cannot find those who ordinarily run things by, just go ahead, would you still make strides? Would you still make strides? And shall we be thankful to all those who have over the period been a bigger source of support and our biggest fan? Because you see, if it is genuine, because some of the fans you are receiving and you know that, let me say this, there was a time somebody posted that, honestly, I would want and I appreciate compliments that are honest. Gorgeous, beautiful tree, and we're afraid you and think like, what is nice about this? People too can be fake, oh. But all the same, they have given it. And I will say that, as the popular saying goes, beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. For all you know, you are not feeling the picture like that, but somebody today is feeling it giddy, 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 giddy. And you say, hey, why are they liking the pictures? But if it's out of genuineness, I mean, your comment and your compliment and your approval stems out from some genuine concerns and a genuine thumbs up. But we have misled people, even with some approvals. And we know that the approvals we are giving them is not correct approval, so to speak. It is approval that your man of fans keke, and then behind back door they will be laughing at you. Please, such compliment and such approval and such validations are defective. And for me, I think that it is time, you may agree, you may disagree, it is time that you start sifting and start being honest about the kind of compliment and approval we receive. I honestly would salute any individual who is not stingy with compliment. But there are times that you know that the compliments do not match what you are saying. And so it is born out of I'm just complimenting, or I'm just giving a comment. If you can't say anything, just keep quiet. Than putting somebody in a state for them to think A and B and C is top notch when it is not. It's Random Thought with Maxine. This morning, we are asking ourselves the question of why do we even trouble ourselves trying to get people to approve the things we do, trying to get people to compliment, trying to get people to cheer us on. Is it even necessary? Those who cheer us on, are they for real or they are fake? When can we decipher between the approval and the fans and the comments that are genuine? And when can we say that no, I think that is it? And is it even bad in itself to want, crave that someone gives you approval? For me, I would answer this question in one part. I'll be right back.
All right, so you're still on Random Thought with Maxine on Peny Radio and Peny GH on YouTube. Okay, so you can join us by sending your comment on WhatsApp 0543295571 or under the comment section of the video. It's still Random Thought with Maxine.
So we are back. So I said, okay, we would answer this question. You know, there are times that you know that your desire and the yearning for approval is just like extreme. There are people who would always draw attention. Haven't you seen my new dress? Haven't you seen my car? Haven't you seen my this? Hey, won't you compliment? Hey, I mean, it's like sometimes it's overbearing. And there are some approval, some compliments, some validations that it's in moderation. Once a while, you give a compliment that is correct, that is genuine, that is honest, and that is the group that I find myself. Okay. This can be very tricky because you don't know what it is that works for one individual. There are people that who live and breathe approval, validation, compliment. You don't compliment them. So I'm not married, and I think I kind of like understand the women when they said that, because some few female friends had shared their experience that sometimes you are with your husband, you have taken off your braids, you're in a new hairstyle, saying to Kwame some Jimmy, and it hurts. But see, what if you are with a man who is not like the complimenting type, or you dear boss or challenge this one, the way BPR, and you take it like, once a while he'll give you a compliment. So that is what you got. I mean, just take it like that. But there are some that they will put the thing in your face, like, you have to say something. And that is the part that is tricky. Yeah. Because there are times that you know that, Charlie, you have to say it as it is. As for this hairstyle, before God and man and Koyi, I don't like it. But you can't be honest about it because you are afraid that they are going to vent out their anger on you. And so it is a bit tricky, and you have to, apply wisdom. Sure. When it comes to a point like that. Sure. Know the person you are dealing with. Draw the lines. There are people who are okay when compliment, approval are in moderation. There are people who are the extremists. And they would want you to compliment on anything. And like they are feeding you with words, virtually feeding you with words to say back to them. And that's the part that if you are not too careful, you just be dishonest about your compliments and all that. So we need to check that up. Sure. And it is true, whatever it is, there is a need for us to mirror each other. And so compliment is a way of telling somebody that there's something you don't see and I see, or there's something you see and I just want to tell you that that's a nice thing you have. Sure. And it's good. I have emceed over a period of time. Guess what? I always would want the opinions of my siblings. No saying. And sometimes I just plant them in the audience. And when there is a commercial break, like maybe it's time to eat, I just go to them quickly. Say, how's it going? Then they will just give me okay. And that's it. It is not like I don't know my way around the whole MCing game. But it kind of like feels good. And it kind of like puts you in a certain form of check when you know that you are receiving compliments or you are receiving feedback that would make you become a better person. But now I look at those who are at the extreme end and I'm thinking, what will make somebody thrive on this whole having to see my hair, having to see, hey, won't you say I'm looking beautiful? Hey, having to see my this, having to see my no. Sometimes it stems out of the fact that we lack confidence. Sure. And so at every point in time, we need somebody to affirm the things that we are not too sure about. And this is not to say that even the confident person at a point still will need somebody to say, hey, that was a good work. And so that is what it is. And as I indicated early on, it's inherent, it's part of us to seek approval, to want someone to compliment us, and it makes us feel good. I was here on Monday with a nice white shirt with a bow like that. I was feeling the shirt from the house. But when I got to the studio and Freddie said, like, I look like somebody who works with British Icon, come and see my head. I just liked his compliment because it gave me an extra spark that, oh, somebody noticed. But if I had come and Dominic Donkasa or the Shenhua, I still knew that was a nice shirt. But Freddie's comments to the shirt gave me an extra fuel. As I already know, and that's it. So can we just look at our lives again? How can we live or live without the compliment? Is it possible to live without them? Can we do without approval? If you ask me, I'll say it's a yes and a no. Let's draw the line. When we get them, fine. But it's time to start celebrating ourselves. For me, I don't say there's anything like small wins. Every win is a win. If you work on a project in the office and it goes well, you know you had invested time, energy, you have expended a lot of labor on that. Give yourself a pat at the back. Acknowledge that why Juma, and be happy for yourself. That is how it starts for me. If you buy that dress and you dress well and you know that I'm looking good, take a picture of yourself and say, damn, and now this is how people say it, I'm crashing on myself. Crash on yourself if you can. My friend will say, if you don't say I am, we will say thou art. So say that I am. Love yourself, encourage yourself, celebrate all your achievements, whether small. You don't need somebody to say, oh, this is a small or this is big, you should do a party. No. If you realize actually you had a target for yourself, you have expended time, labor and all that, and the outcome is super, buy yourself chichinga, drink, live your life, pat yourself at the back, because trust you me, all those who were giving us fans growing up, now they have grown. They have stopped giving us fans. Those times my father, the way he used to give me fans, now midlife crisis, he has issues. He is not giving us fans again, but he will give the fans when it's appropriate. So we are making use of the fans that are in our storehouse and making good use of them. Those who are your biggest fan probably are sick now, they are immobile, there are a lot of things. Life happens and people change. Just take it in your stride. Be confident about your decisions. It's okay when you make mistakes. If you have to quit that job and you think you need your HR to give you the reasons why you should quit or you should not quit. Know that that decision is solely for you to arrive at. And there are people who hide under the whole, oh, please, I am going to do this. I wanted to know your opinion on it. Because they don't want solely to take care of the aftermath of their actions. And you know, they want to share responsibility. That you were the person who played a part in this decision. So I'll tell you this, a friend had a job offer to the bank, and she was torn between leaving her current job and she kept calling her husband that there's a new job, this and then, and so it's like, I'm like, so what decision have you arrived at? She says, oh, I'm waiting for my husband. Eventually the husband was very blunt and said that make this decision as if I am not alive. I don't want you to quit that job, and when you start going through the stress of working with the bank, you tell me that I was comfortable when you were the one who says I should leave. And I thought that was a smart move from the husband, because let's put things in perspective. If your husband is not alive, if your wife is not alive, like the examples I gave, divorce, you lose friends, people are sick, people are no longer in your space as they used to be, how would you arrive at that decision? And it's time to get tough. If the compliments come, fine. If they don't, give yourself a pat at the back. Acknowledge your little effort. Don't rally around, don't be a victim who rallies around emotional support. Some people, it's just the need for emotional support. Oh, you say I should do this. My mother used to say I should marry him. So that when it doesn't go well, you kind of like shift the goalpost. No, that's not it. Then what can we do in the future? I have already said this. For your to-do list, compliment people when there is a need to. Be honest about it. If it is lame, say basa wedi ankoye, and say it as it is. Be blunt, but be conscious. Don't hurt people's feelings. Acknowledge that you are an amazing person. Sometimes we fail to acknowledge that we are amazing. Sometimes we fail to acknowledge that we have capabilities. Sometimes we fail to acknowledge that we are enough. And that is what makes us go around in circle looking for somebody to just put a stamp on the things we want to do. It's time to start loving yourself for who you are and for who God created you. I know you are afraid of the I told you so. And you want to rally around some emotional support like that. But just be responsible for your actions. That is it. The best you can do is to pray to God about it. And let God validate some of your actions. Not some, all your actions. Like, God, I spoke to you. So when you get into that marriage and things start getting rough, you know that we spoke to God about this. And he will see us through. If it is that job you want to quit, you know you spoke to God about it. And he spoke and you listened. And that is the basis of your decision. The next thing I want to say is that know you have power. Know you have control. Know that you are somebody. And I call it the PCS. You have power to make the best decisions. You are in control of your life. Nobody can control your life better than yourself. And know that you are somebody. It doesn't matter whether or not somebody validated you childhood. Somebody says things, but know that you have that power to control everything that concerns you and that you are somebody. The last thing I want to say is that let's be humble, because in the process of people validating us, as I said, compliments are sometimes not always nice. I watched Ghana's Most Beautiful yesterday with my little sister, and she tells me that media comments one and pessimity on their performance. And people had gone through the week rehearsing and all that. And sometimes they come and the comments they give them is heartbreaking. But just be humble. When the comments come and they are not what you like, can you say, okay, I think this is it. Don't say, oh, when you bring me, I don't know. No. Just be humble so that when the comments come and the approval is not what you want, you can learn from them. And learn new things. Be open. Because see, me have come here and me have been but I constantly, the more I do random thoughts with Maxine, it also sets me thinking. Can I be humble? Am I humble? Can I win with humility? And the answer to this is sure. It is the best. It is your best bet. With humility, you go places. Learn new things. Accept your flaws and weaknesses and work around them. We are not perfect. We are flawed in some way, somehow. We are not superhuman beings. We'll make mistakes. But when those mistakes come, when we don't get that validation, when we are not approved, when nobody accepts us for the things we are going to do, can we just say that, oh, I make this mistake? Don't be afraid of making mistakes. Don't be afraid of people saying, I told you so. But sometimes, just like I was not present when my friend needed me to go and buy that gown, she made a decision to. I'm sure she would have worn that gown by force, but thankfully she had. But even when you don't get people to validate, to compliment, to approve, to cheer you on, know that the flaws and the things that you did that did not work in your favor are stepping stones to making you better. Validate yourself. Pat yourself at the back. Celebrate your achievements. Win more. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. And know that when the compliments come, that's it. If it doesn't come, you're good. Don't be the extremist. Work around it moderately. It's Random Thought with Maxine. I'll be right back.
All right. So I have, I used to look out for validations from people a lot. Okay, that had been something I constantly do, and mostly I do look for such compliments from people I believe should, so church folks, those people. But I got to realize this one thing. There are some people, when it's good. My example is perfect. You see, you are wearing a black dress and it's very nice. Okay, so I see you in this black dress. I don't know how to compliment. If it was on me, I would have loved it. But you get that kind of. There's some people that's if it's on you, it's good. They like it, but the way they say it. And they can't even cut their hair for just 2 seconds. But the moment they see you, I don't know if it's a form of, but
so it's always like that, and that's like a perfect example. There are people that are, sometimes I can understand. They didn't grow up receiving a lot of compliments, and instead of them also learning how to compliment, they are just using some negativity to send the message across. Sometimes they don't really mean the negative. But instead of them saying, that's a nice black dress, that is difficult to say. So they rather introduce the negative first before they will say it's a nice dress. There are times they would even introduce the negative and not even say it's a nice dress.
Sure.
And it all boils down to know thyself, because sometimes you know that there's those people. There are times that randomly older folks they are saying thank you.
Sure.
Because I wasn't really expecting that somebody would just look at you and say that. But there are people who are really, they don't know you anywhere, and they will say. And there are people too that sometimes I set out to compliment and they are not sure. They are not sure, like, is she really serious? So I walked into a shop last time. Another day was around, went to a shop. We saw this nice bag. We just wanted to inquire and ask of the price. You know how ladies are. BBI, baby, sir. Then we go to the shop, and the shop attendant, nice girl, stood up and she told us the prices. Usually we'll ask the price and know whether it is in our lane. We can buy. Then I just saw her. I'm like, you are beautiful. The girl was just looking at me. Like I said, and this thing I'm saying, I am a woman. If I tell you another, she was without makeup. It was a clear face. It was a morning. And then I just realized her friend was not as pretty, but she was also tall and slender. So I was like, it would be very insensitive to just shower the other lady with. And it was a fact. She was beautiful. There was no way her friend could have matched up with her beauty. Then I just told her that we are tinting fine. Don't you want to be a model? And she's like, she's thought about it, but she doesn't know how to, set the process in motion.
Sure.
And that is it. When we compliment people, there's for all you know, they're just having a very bad day.
Sure.
And it's kind of like spark the fire in their eyes. So let's try.
Let's try.
All
right, let's try. So wherever you are, you can join in the conversation. You can send your comment via WhatsApp 0543-829571. 0543-829571. We are also live on YouTube at Peny GH. You can send your comment in the comment section. You know that there are some people also, they always hide behind this thing. The truth is one. Truth is painful, and they hurt the feelings of others. I don't know if you've come across such people. They'll tell you that this is the truth. I know the truth hurts, but you know they've gone the extreme and they think they are right.
So it's always hard. I mean, that's how I said it's tricky, but always strike a balance. So there was this time I was maid of honor for a friend. And you know how it is like with the wedding, the engagement on Saturdays, a week before. Or sometimes, in this particular case, it was the Friday for the engagement. The Saturday was for the wedding. And truth be told, that Saturday, the makeup artist was on point. I loved the makeup on my friend.
Okay.
But on Saturday, I don't know how these people today operate. Sometimes they do the thing, but obiani the issue. Sometimes the wedding is nice, or sometimes it's a traditional marriage that is not nice. But you know, on Saturday it wasn't bad, but just that on the Friday she looked really good.
Okay.
And being the maid of honor, you're just close to your bride. From nowhere, order of photographs. I remember very well. One of her aunties to the bride, from nowhere, came and said, "Hey, where the ifo?" Then the person said in tree, "Oh, and that zonhu yefe, and zonhu anyefe." Oh. And I was like stunned. I'm like, how can this woman? We are taking photographs. She just said, "And it's a." Then I was like, no way could she have said this. And people, they don't mind place, time, venue. They would just say it brutally. But
that is it.
And the bride was repulsive. She said, before, like she was angry that who does that in people. Oh, please. If you can't say anything, keep quiet and say it in your head.
Oh, yes.
But when it comes out like that, order photographs. She opened her mouth and she said that thing.
Too sensitive.
No, too sensitive. You don't do that. That's how come they branded her.
Oh.
You two can fly. I hear that is the name for those who they say I call you two. I hear you two can fly.
You two can fly. If you have any experience, kindly share with us on WhatsApp 0543295571. If you're doing the watching on YouTube, you can also share with us in the comment section. We want to hear from you if you have any experience of what we're discussing now. Sometimes it's very bad.
Yeah, it is.
It's very bad.
And when the person says that thing that doesn't go wrong, it triggers something in you.
Sure.
Like it kind of like kills you.
Yeah.
It kills you. I stopped trying speaking ever for crusades because of some comments and people passed. Unfortunately, that day my mother too was part of the congregation, and you know it was my mother, and the comments that came. You come here, you want to English and kwana muti kasa. And after that, my mom was like,
Yeah.
And like, compliment me for the brothway, and have pity on me for the local dialect that I butchered. But the person kind of like rubbish from the brofu to everything. Brofu and so what? Yeah, brofu, country in English woman. Hey. Please, if you are not tough, it will break you.
Sure.
Please, let's see your comments. Sure. Let's know. Is there an experience? I mean, somebody said, are you always seeking validation? Are you the extreme type, or you are the one that would enjoy it in moderation? Sure. Are you stingy with compliment? What does it do to you when people validate? I mean, have you made decisions in the past based on somebody's validation? It went well, it didn't go well. Let us hear from you.
Sure.
We're in the studio.
Let us hear from you. Let us hear from you. Do you have any experience? Share with us. You know that there was this time at Xavier I do translation, okay?
Yeah.
And there was this, I think that was my first time I did English to Akan. And then there was this one man, okay, after everything he called me and said, what you did is very good, okay? Now so okay we say ya nankeye, okay we say ya nankeye. And the man didn't know I was a Bruno man. I'm not a Ashanti. Okay. So whenever I speak the Ashanti, there are some things I know how it is said in Bruno, but not in Ashanti.
Yeah.
Okay, so I changed them. But when the man said that, then when I went home, I started looking for the names of those things in Ashanti. I saw that, okay, the man was right.
Yeah.
But the way he said it, the compliment came first, yes, and then the correction,
the butchering.
You see,
so that's it. That formula is not bad.
Sure.
I mean, you did well with your presentation, but and that's one of the reasons why I would watch anything that comes with the comment section. Ghana's most beautiful, you know, and all that. You see, because you can't just rubbish what somebody has done.
Sure.
You can't. You can't. But there are people whose mainstay is to rubbish, whether you like it or not. They don't see any single. Such people, you just leave them like that.
And there are times they make comments for attention's sake. You know, they need attention.
But to be very honest, some of the comments are not good. Are not. We have they are not good because I mean somebody will say what's your definition of not good, but something that when you think you say to your fellow man, will it break them? But I mean somebody will say it's a tough word, but whatever it is, we are affected by the external things that happens in our environment. We are, whether you like it or not. You can say, once you are living, no man is an island. You feel the heat. You feel it. I mean, when we started all these things, there are times, I honestly shared with you some concerns, feedback, like I was getting it left, right, center. We still get feedback.
Sure.
But from the first week, the heat was on. I mean, it's always like we wanted to get things on. And we are still learning. I mean, we've not gotten to the part that we say, okay, we have perfected the art and all that. And people are not even appreciative, like they can't be bothered. Is this their first time? Why did no. They ask for those information, they are not interested. So it's always you preparing yourself and giving yourself. But when the comments comes, be humble enough to want to learn from it. I mean, that's largely it. Yeah.
Sure. All right. So wherever you are, we want to hear from you. What are your thoughts? Share with us on WhatsApp 0543829571 0543829571. But Max, I don't know if you had to make a decision, if this thing has ever happened to you, that you wanted the opinion of your mother or your father, and they go like, this one you need to sort it out yourself. Okay. I don't know if you've ever.
So you see the example I gave my colleague who had to either leave the job she was currently into an offer she had with a bank. I just looked at that situation as like, there are times you are alone. You are just alone. And there are some decisions, no matter how you need someone to validate, you have to make them.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is with somebody will say that, okay, there are times that when you get an expert opinion, somebody who is far advanced in age, matured, they have experienced life, is good. So I'll quickly run it by some few people, but at the end of the day, the decision solely lies with you. Solely lies with you. And your cheerleaders will not always be cheerleaders. Now there are cheerleaders who have become naysayers. They have become your number one enemy.
They'll even mock you.
That is it. That's it. That's why I bet now no they were saying it. No, there are people who say things like, you speak well and all that. Then once they see you with headset, they shall be pink beard to the chief say. But in a hotel room, to tell them, And those who once upon a time, people were like, but when you take the thing a step further, they are like, hey, and that's the part that hurts.
Yeah.
So now cheerleader, no, those who have cheered me on. You know, those times I used to think that are broadful, like exaggerated things. You watch movies and somebody's running late for his son's opening day. You know how the thing is. But the child will just be on stage, probably had forgotten few of his lines. Once he sees his mother
remember
in the audience, he remembers. So I realized the effect of some people cheering you on. But if you don't see your mother in the audience and your father is not there to wave and say, or maybe your father was even the one who was rehearsing with you, and you are not there. Now, when you get to the stage, you will know that the rehearsal in the house is different from the one that you're on. So, I mean, that is life. It's a sad truth anyway. But there will be times you won't get anybody to cheer you on. It's true. No credit. Your wife will not even cheer you on.
No.
You come and be doing. Your husband will say, "Oh, me you do to be fool. Oh, so boy for crass. Michelle will not come for fine. See a dear. The pence is so crying, papa. So that is it. So for me, I say people had divorced and you tell them, oh, he used to be my chair. He was even the one who said I should go to this school. He was even the one who says I should try this course. And now when I come back, he doesn't even ask me anything. Hey, sister, wake up. Because the cheerleaders, they have gone on strike.
They are on leave now.
Yeah, sure. But for all those who have cheered us on, we thank you.
God bless you.
Those who keep cheering us on, our secret listeners, we thank you. Keep cheering us on. Those who are even insulting us, we are forgiving you. But Charlie, we are cheering ourselves on. But when it comes, it gives you an extra spring in your feet, like a man who say, Charlie, why you PPR? Why you PPR?
So that is it. You still have random threaded Maxine.
Yeah.
We're still waiting for your comment. If you do not give us your thoughts, we'll give us our thoughts. We'll give you our thoughts.
Yeah.
We're still here, random threaded Maxine. Okay, so there was a time, I called my younger brother and we're talking, and it was as if all we're trying to say is that our father is a teacher, but when it comes to selecting or choosing your course, choosing what you want to do, this man will throw it into your face, And so all we're saying was that this man, you could have told us that when you do science, this and this and this, so do it. When you do this and this and this and that, do it. But you know what my father did? He would just tell you, these are your courses. Go and look for what, when you study this, what you can be and choose for yourself. So I came back, told him, I want to do science. He didn't ask me anything again. Science. Okay, good. Let's go for it. I did.
Nothing.
No, he told you go and do this. And so my younger brother, he's a teacher now. And he also came, what do you want to do? He said science. And then he said, okay, go ahead, go and do it. And so he called me and he said, science. And I asked him, how is your maths like? Maths ne dey enko senti na me pesa me ye science na me enko ye business no. So you get it.
You had a wrong impression.
Yes. Yeah. So he thought for business your maths should be strong, but for science
the old man has erred.
So he knew maths for business, science, for science, biology, and so I called my father and ono ama bano acquire science and I said
send a mass.
Then I choose all the amount, and I said no. And then he told me that is what he brought.
Yeah.
And this is what he said he would do. So I asked my father, did you ask him about his strength in maths? He said, I have all his results. I don't want to be the reason why he will go to school and not focus on what he's supposed to learn.
That's it.
Just because he didn't, I chose something for him that he doesn't like.
Yeah.
Then I told him, old man, you know one funny thing, you never, when you tell, I told my dad that I want to write NOVDEC before the
real.
He told me that you have only one chance. If you write NOVDEC, you are not writing the final. So it's either you prepare for the final, because I don't want to use anyone's chance for you.
That's it.
And that is his own.
Yeah.
If you choose this, you have your consequences. You don't blame him. You have it for
so
yourself.
you know there are people who are now harboring a lot of pain just because my papa ne can't send me a doctor.
Sadly.
You know, and it is a way, it's like an escape valve for them. You have to align your failure to somebody's role in making a decision for you, and that's the part that hurts. There are people who cannot forgive their parent. That's because they said, my mother said I should not marry from this ethnic group, and I went to this ethnic group, and it didn't end well. But we are saying this morning that in as much as it's difficult making an independent decision, nobody says independence is easy. It means you have to be responsible for your actions and all that. Just make the best out of the things that are available, and make sure if you make the mistakes, I mean, there's always another opportunity to learn from them. Don't be afraid.
All right, so I have this comment here. The person is saying, so if your dad didn't want to take the blame, you should have. What's the person waiting? She said, and then for Wutinji, like
you should have to be responsible.
I should. And I did that. I stopped him from Medimitije. I stopped him from doing the science. He did arts, general arts, and then he later told me that, hey, science
that's it.
You get it. So
so you validated and you kind of like helped him. And you know that's the part that's always tricky. There are times it will save you a great deal. And there are times to but if you ask for approval, validation, compliment, and it doesn't go well, I mean, just don't start sharing and transferring things. Just
that is what
and that's what a lot of people are careful about. When I can't say, or you are the one who approved of this and all that. So people will rather say, can you make that decision solely by yourself and not needing me, so that when your actions come, you are responsible for your actions, and that's it.
All right. And Christopher, I don't know wherever Christopher is. I think you either be listening or you be somewhere. Christopher is my friend, okay, my childhood friend, and when we went to the university, I was working on this thing. I think my third year, I was doing this social media sites. Okay, I saw this framework and I thought, it will be good to do a social media, something like Facebook. You know, when you learn something first, you want to try anything. So I did this website where you can have friends, just like Facebook. That's okay. And I think I still have that. I called it Brain Box. Okay. So I did that for students to connect, and so I shared the link with Christopher. Christopher, I've done this. The moment Christopher opened the thing and he saw friend request, and he said, I feel now be to Facebook and answer WhatsApp. And the moment he said that was the end. I didn't carry that
because it's like copy and paste, right?
I feel now we be too. And I said,
Christopher took the air out of you.
Yes.
And that's, I mean, that's it.
That was
you don't want to go back again?
No, I never tried it again.
Charlie,
I never did. So Brain Box, that was the end of Brain Box. It died off.
It died from Christopher's utterance.
So Christopher, you killed it. You are the one who killed it. So
please, let's not be killing things. So let's not be killing people's. I mean, somebody runs and now shall roll it to me. Also, tell you know. But for all you know, and there was somebody who's thinking, I mean, the main cameras and chobiano. You see, it's dicey because the person is thinking, if you had not told Christopher and you had gone ahead, for you know, maybe you just get some 25 students subscribing.
You see,
at least you set the thing in motion. But Christopher, from the onset, just killed the thing.
Nana say.
And easy.
By now, my space is gone. Maybe mine would have been the same.
That's it.
Anyway, for all those who give us those compliments, those who kill the dreams, we thank you.
That's it.
In fact, you've pushed that into certain areas. Maybe we would have failed anyway.
We
would have wasted our time. But you can still share your thought with us. If you have any experience, share with us. We're still here, Random Thought with Maxine. Let's check if we have some comments.
Let's check.
All right, so we have this comment here. I don't know today. Your comments are some wavy. So someone is saying, if you can't carry your own load and you want someone to help you, if the load drop, don't put the blame on them.
Yeah.
If you could have carried it, you wouldn't have asked for help.
Yeah.
It's true. So I think people are scared because of the pointing of fingers.
Yeah. Nobody wants to be tagged. You were the one, but as I said, there's a need to develop a sense of self-worth. You have to be content, and this should be independent of what other people think.
Sure.
It should be independent of what other people think, and that should be your driving force. If they give you compliments and approvals that are top notch and that you think fine, but in your head you should have already arrived at a decision. Yeah. But when you ask for approval and validation and all that, it should be like, okay, what can I add to what I have already agreed on? And that's it.
Sure. All right. So we're still on Random Thought with Maxine. So we'll be wrapping up soon. We will be ending soon, okay? So wherever you are, you can share your thoughts with us. Share your comments with us. We're still here in the studios. We've done an hour already. Wow.
Yeah. Please give us the compliment. Oh, we like it.
You see,
it makes our head big, like Humpty Dumpty.
Maybe we'll not fall.
We'll not fall. But hey, because when we organize all the king's horses and all the king's men, maybe they can't put us together, or they'll put us together. So please give us compliment. It should be generous, and it should be real. It should be honest. Okay. If it's not nice, it's not. If it's on, but you see, and the bluntness too. Sometimes it kills us, but sometimes you can't kill yourself.
So all those doing the listening, I can see some people doing the listening from Dubai.
Okay, hi Dubai people.
Our Ghanaian listeners.
Okay, thank you so much for always connecting.
Sure.
And to all our secret listeners, those who are not showing their face, Charlie, we thank you for the show of love secretly. Secretly.
All right. So, Maxine, we end then your final words to our listeners and viewers.
Okay. So, in this life, we all mirror each other. Sometimes, that's the whole scene. And we have a mandate to be honest. We have a mandate to give people the very best of our opinions. We have the mandate to love ourselves. This will not be egocentric. That sometimes you have to be selfish, love yourself. We also have a role to also celebrate our wins. Don't say, if you work on a project or you achieve a goal, just celebrate it. Pat yourself at the back. And say, Charlie, I did it, because you know what you went through just to achieve that thing. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Be humble. Learn. Don't get tired. When people give their opinions and their approval on matters, that you take it to heart, look through them, sift through them, know which ones are good for you and those ones that you want to trust them. And know that any which way you are responsible for your own actions and inactions. Validation, when comes, okay. If it doesn't come, know that whatever it is, you are your own man or you are your own woman. And continue being you. That's all you need. Just be you. Just be you.
Just be you. All right. So just be you. Random Thought with Maxine. Today is a Monday, the 20th of July 2020. On WhatsApp, you can share with us your comment and thoughts. 0543295571. On YouTube, Peny GH. On Facebook is Peny GH. Check our website penygh.com or radio.penygh.com. So I want to say a very big thank you and God bless you to Maxine and to all of you doing the listening and watching, and all those helping here at the studios at the background. Thank you. All right, so let's meet at 3:30. Today 3:30 will bring you the word of God from the servant of God, Reverend Father Nicholas Lassie, on the encounter with the Lord through his word. And today at 7 p.m. we bring you the word of life with Mark. God bless you. Have a wonderful day. Have a fruitful day. Have a fruitful week. It is a new week. It is a wonderful week. So let's meet again on Wednesday on Random Thought with Maxine. God bless you. We're out of here.